Hello, good morning students. Myself is Kanti sir, teaching mathematics in standard 10 English medium. This is our lecture number 5 and our topics of this lecture is proving irrational numbers. If you are given any numbers, then you have to prove that it is irrational. Okay, actually we divide irrational number into two parts. We will be given irrational number only, not to decide whether irrational or rational. We will be given 100% irrational only. We have to prove why it is irrational logically. So today's topic is not calculated. So understand it well. Okay. Now in first one example will be like that, in which any that irrational part having some another terms, or in nearby of that irrational part any coefficient is there or any term is there. So here one extra term is given. Sometime it is 3 minus root 2 like this, 5 root 3 like this. So these are one. This is our division into two parts. Okay, actually not given in textbook. Now in second part it will be like this: root 5, root 2, root 15 like this. Okay, so here no number is nearby, not in multiplication, not any number with in addition or subtraction form. Okay, only this third part is given there. Suppose root 18 or like given, then it will come here only. Why? Because here 9 to the 18, so this will become 3 root 2. Why 3 root 2? Inside of that part root sign there is a 9 to the 18. So if 9 comes outside, it becomes okay. So actually this is in first part. Now first we concentrate on how to prove these types of number as a irrational. Okay, so I first taking one example. This is actually given in exercise 1.3. Exercise 1.3. Okay, so now we take the practice sum from textbook itself. Okay, so first I am taking question number 2. Okay, in question number 2 given is that 3 plus root, prove that 3 plus root 5 is irrational. Prove 3 plus root 5 is irrational. So that is the question. Now how to prove it? Again I tell you, this is theoretical part, no calculation is there. So logically you have to prove it. So you have to some practice and some habit to how to go ahead logically and particularly mathematical language. Okay, so sometimes students feel difficulty in this type of mathematical description. Okay, so understand it well and try to some memory based also. Okay, so memorize somewhat part also. Now in our starting, first of all we have to suppose that number is a rational. So quite contrary to given fact, we have to suppose that given number is rational and go ahead according to rational number. At that, at last step, if you arrive at some contradiction part, some odd result, some strange result, at that time you can say that our supposition, our way so far we follow was wrong. So it is not rational but irrational. Okay, so that is logic behind this. Just we go in opposite way. We are going to in that side, we have to go that side. After going somewhat, we feel or we know that that part was wrong. So automatically this part is right. Why? Only two ways are there, no third way. Okay, so you just go in opposite way. At last you prove yourself as a wrong. So automatically it will be proved irrational. Okay, so this is indirect proof, not direct proof. Okay, so first we suppose that given number is a rational only. Okay, so suppose 3 plus root 5 is a rational number. So what opposite supposition is done here. Now any rational number, in previous session we already studied that any rational number can be expressed in p by q forms, but irrational never. Okay, so this rational number will become this way. So now therefore what happens, 3 plus root 5 equal to a by b. Okay, because if it is rational we can denote it by a by b form or p by q forms anyway. Okay, any integers, or sorry, any letter you can suppose, where a and b are integers. Okay, now we suppose rational, that's why we can write this things. So we could written this form only. If rational can be denoted in p by q forms, means a by b forms. Now just now how to proceed, what to do, you just try that root part at one side and remaining all at opposite side. Okay, so you have to shift, or shifting step should be there, so that that root part will be here only and remaining everything should be at opposite sides. So I keep root 5 here, but this 3 at that side. So it will become a upon b minus 3. Okay, therefore root 5 is equal to a upon b minus. Now just simplify here, root 5 equal to b is LCM, so it will become a minus 3b. Okay, LCM taken or cross multiplication done here, because here is a nothing, so 1. So a into 1, 3 into b, and b ones are b here. Now you just conclude this is integer, a and b are basically integer, so a is integer, integer is multiplied by 3, so it is integer, b is integer, and difference or addition of integer is always integer. Why? Closure property, you know, closure property of addition and subtraction of integer. What suggests that? It suggests that if you do addition of two integer or subtraction of two integer, the result will be integer only. So this is integer, this is integer, so integer upon integer become rational number. Okay, so now just give reason. But a and b are integer, supposition a and b are integers, therefore a minus 3b upon b is rational number. Why? Integer upon integer, obviously integer upon integer is nothing but a rational number. Actually we came at last step which contradict the fact that root 5 is a irrational number. That part is rational, this part obviously rational, but actually fact is that root 5 is irrational, that we know. Root 5 is irrational, that we know already. We are not going to prove that root 5 is irrational. Root 5 is irrational, that we have to assume at this step. Okay, so this contradicts means, you know, oppose. This contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. Okay, so that last our conclusion will contradict the fact that root 5 is irrational. Okay, so it never happened. One part is irrational and opposite part is rational. Equality is not maintained here. Okay, so this contradicts the fact that root 5 is, so our supposition is wrong. Our supposition is wrong. Now what was our supposition? It is a rational number. So that path was wrong selected. So now this part is right. Okay, so automatically it proved. Therefore, this given number, what is given number? 3 plus root 5 is rational number. Okay, so this way you have to prove why it is rational. Okay, now one more example, this type only. Now you understand how to write. No calculation is here, just logically in mathematical steps you have to proceed since last step. Okay, first of all, opposing means opposite supposition should be there. Means we have to suppose it is irrational, not irrational. Sorry, we have to suppose it is rational but not irrational. Then if it is suppose rational, it can be denoted in A by B forms. So root 5 comes now keep here that root part here, so that will go in opposite sides. Okay, so A by B minus 3. So now take here LCM, just simplification done here, very simple. Now at last steps, rational, so subtraction of integer, so subtraction of integer becomes integer, so integer upon integer becomes fraction. So right fact suggests us rational number, this one is irrational, so this is just opposite, contradicts fact. Okay, so but A and B are integer, therefore this part is rational, we have to write that. Okay, all thinking, all logic we have to suggest or write here, describe here. Now this contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational, therefore our supposition is wrong. Therefore 3 plus root 5 is rational. Okay, so this is the way how to write and how to prove particular number as a irrational. Now for another example I am giving you. If here it is given minus, then you can shift that part also here. Okay, I am giving you that type of number. Suppose you are given 3 minus root 2. 3 minus root 2, then what? So same way only. So suppose 3 minus root 2 is rational number. Therefore 3 minus root 2 is equal to A by B, where A and B are positive integers, means belongs to natural number. Okay, and they are co-prime also. Now that root part must be at one side, everything else should be opposite. So we just shift root 2 here. Why? Because it is negative, so we try to get it positive. So now 3 comes here, sorry, A by M upon B comes here, 3 was here one. Cross multiplication again, so B, 3B minus 3 equal to root 2. Again, same writing only little difference is there in numbers. Okay, but A and B are integers. Therefore 3B minus A by B, integer minus integer upon integer, obviously rational, is rational. Now again write that step. It contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational number. Just like first one, I am not writing, I am just speaking that this contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational number. Therefore our supposition is wrong. Therefore given number is a irrational number. Okay, so same way only, just little difference is here, that part is shifted towards right side. Why? For converting it into positive. Okay, now instead of plus or minus number is given, suppose it is given in multiplication, then also same process is follows. Okay, suppose you are given this way only, 3 root 2. 3 root 2 only. Then same way, suppose that is rational number. Therefore, 3 root 2 can be denoted by a by b. A and b belongs to n. Okay. Then root 2 equal to a upon 3b. Now no simplification required is there because one term only here, but a and b are integer. I am writing in short only, means just like first sum you have to write. So full description is not being shown here. Therefore, that part, this opposite part of this one is a rational number. Okay, so it contradicts. It contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational. Therefore, our supposition is wrong. Therefore, given number is irrational. Okay, so same logic, same topic is there. Okay, now suppose you are given this way, then how to proceed? Okay, so that is important. That is quite long also, and many students feel it difficult also. So just try. If you not getting all writing well, then you have to memorize some part also. Okay? I recommend that way. Why? Because most of students feel it quite difficult. Okay, that's why. Now in this step also, suppose root 5, prove that root 5 is irrational. Suppose root 5 is irrational. So now also same way proceedings, but logic or description will be different in this part. That's why we kept them separate. Okay, so first here also suppose root 5 is rational number, not irrational, just like previously. Therefore, root 5 equal to a by b, where a and b are co-prime integer. Here you have to write this one. In previous one also you could write that, but here it is compulsory. Integer but co-prime integer. Always simplest form means what? Numerator and denominator are co-prime. Means whatever cutting was possible, that was done already. Okay, that is the meaning of co-prime integer, a co-prime fraction, or simplest form of fraction. Now how to proceed? Now it is different because of root 5, we cannot assume here root 5 is irrational. Here we have to prove. In this one, everyone, root 5 was assumed irrational, root 2 irrational, this one irrational. But in this one, we have to prove that why root 5 is irrational. Okay, so don't conclude here. So now, just set here this root 5b equal to b. I just set it here. Now making square both sides. So 5b square is equal to a square. Squaring both sides. Okay, this is result number 1. Why giving result number 1? Because it is used later on. Okay, so far I repeat again, opposite supposition, just like previous one. Suppose a by b. What is a by b? You have to write this way, just shifting this way and making square both sides. Remember this step. Now, what is the meaning of this one? Suppose I write 15 equal to 5 into 3. So I can say 5 is divisible by, 15 is divisible by 5, or 15 is divisible by 3. Anyway, I have to write this way. So I can write a square is divisible by 5. I can write a square is divisible by b square also, but we interested here in number, not in unknown. Okay, so I write a square, 2 factors are there, so it can be divided by anyone. So a square is divisible by 5. A square is divisible by 5. But one theorem is there, theorem 1.3. It suggests that if any number, suppose 81 is divisible by 3, or divisible by 9, whatever, divisible by 3, I am writing divisible by 3. Then its square root also divisible by 3. This number should be prime. That theorem suggests that, you can read it. Okay, it is given in textbook. If any number is divisible by any prime number, that number square root also divisible by that prime number. Okay, so that is the main part of theorem number 1.3. So root of 81, 9. So 9 is obviously divisible by 3. Okay, so we understood by taking one example. Okay, so if any number square is divisible by any prime number, that its square root is also divisible by that prime number. Okay, here write by theorem number 1.3. Okay, so if a is divisible by 5 means 5 is a one factor of a, but it is one factor. No, any numbers having at least two factors except specific number. Okay, except what? All numbers having at least two factors. So there should be other factor also. We are taking now a, not a square. A square two factors were 5 and b square. But now we are talking about a only. So a having another factor may also. So we can write therefore a equal to 5c. Okay. A's one factor is 5, divisible 5. So other factor should be there. At least one factor extra should be there. So suppose that factor is c. So write down where c is integer. Okay. Whatever we suppose new thing, we introduce that as a integer, just like a. Okay. Now a equal to 5c we got. Now use this result in first step. So now onward our second step. We divide this our first step, our whole description in two parts so that you will remember it. Now our second part starts. So using a, या तो putting a equal to 5c in equation number 1. Now this result, last part, last statement of first part is being used in where equation number 1. So write it. So 5b square is equal to a square, but instead of a write down 5c. So mathematical step only. So 5b square is equal to 25c square. 5 shifted here, so it becomes b square is equal to 5c square. Okay, 25 upon 5 becomes 5. So now just like this one, 5b square is equal to a square. So a square is divisible by 5. Just like this way, b square is divisible by 5. Okay, now proceed this way only from this. So now a square is divisible by 5. So b square is divisible by 5. So b square is divisible by 5. Therefore, according to this one, theorem number that b is divisible by 5. Why? According to that theorem. Theorem number 1.3. Okay. So b is divisible. Now don't suppose this way. B is equal to 5d like this. Okay. Now we end over this part. Second. So first part over. At last we got a is divisible by 5. At last of second part we got b is divisible by 5. So what is the meaning of both these statements at a time? That at least 5 is a common factor. 5 is a common factor of a and b. Okay. So I combine both these statements and derive any one conclusion. What is that conclusion? That 5 is a factor of common factor of a and b. 5 is a common factor of a and b. But look here, co-prime integer means no common factor. Okay, so our supposition and this statement are opposite. Okay, so at last part we just concludes. Okay, so this contradicts the fact. Which fact? That a and b are co-prime numbers. Contradict fact, not it is fact, but our supposition contradicts our supposition our supposition that A and B are co-prime. Okay. Therefore, our supposition wrong. Our supposition was, yes, supposition is wrong. Therefore, given number is irrational. Just like previous one. But at previous all sums we read the fact that particular number is irrational. Here our supposition is contradicted by this conclusion. Okay, only this way different, otherwise last part is repeating only. Therefore root 5 is irrational. So you can take screenshot also, because in textbook not given in systematic form in examples. Okay, so if you want write in systematic, divide it our working in 3 parts. Okay, and write this way only. Many few steps I have added, it becomes long but easy. Okay, so you have to follow this way. Again I repeat fast. This is the question. Suppose in opposite way, if it is rational, write in P by Q forms, means A by B. What are A and B? A and B, just introduce them. Co-prime integer. Okay, co-prime what should be here. Now just shifting is there and making square. That is the main part you have to remember. Making square both sides. Get it or give it number 1. After giving it, what is the meaning of this statement? A square is divisible by 5 and A square also divisible by B square, because these two are factors. So A square is divisible by 5. Okay. Be interested in number only, not this. Therefore A is divisible by 5. We've gone through that. Theorem number 1.3. If any number is divisible by prime number, then its square root also divisible by that prime number. That is the theorem number 1.3. Okay. So if A is divisible by 5, means 5 is a one factor of A, then another factor might be there. So suppose that another factor is a C, new letter, and again introduce that new letter. Now that last part is being used in result number 1. That's why we given number 1 here. So that is placed here, simplified, shifted, and at last we got this. So just like here, this one. Again, follow same process. If B square is divisible by 5, therefore B is divisible by 5. Okay, now we got two statements similar. A is divisible by 5, B is divisible. Means there is a common factor 5. 5 is a common factor of A and B. And it contradicts our supposition, not fact. Our supposition that A and B are co-prime. Why? Co-prime's meaning is what? Having no common factor. But here we got 5 as a common factor. Okay. So our supposition is wrong. Therefore it is automatically proved, indirectly proved that it is irrational. Okay. So this way you have to remember, and I advise you should write it by pausing your video or taking screenshot of this. Okay. Now homework. So this is in homework. Everything instead of 5 I am writing here 7 and here 11. Okay. So 1 2 3 4 4 5. Okay. So these 5 sums are in homework. 2 plus root 5, 3 minus root 2, 5 root 3, root 7 and root 11. In this type nothing to do, only replace 5 by 7 and 11. Okay. So remember half, understand half, you will be having this discussion.